hindsight, I was concerned, she was actually pretty good at saying, yeah, no, we're working on that, or I will definitely bring that up because there are definitely failing. But she's important things.
I'll call the 22nd meeting of the 13th Undergraduate Senate to order. We'll begin by calling roll. Senator Colchimero.
Here.
Senator Friedman.
Present.
Senator Dantzler. Senator Meekum. Senator Chen. Senator Adams. Here. Senator Fryer.
Here.
Senator Kenna. Senator Martine.
Here.
Senator Zitzman.
Here.
Senator DeGose.
Here.
Senator Roberts. Senator Legitimacy.
Here.
Senator Robbins.
Here.
Quorum is met. All right, moving to the adoption of the agenda. Is there any discussion on the current agenda? Senator Zitzman?
I had a resolution that I wrote today, but I'm not going to introduce it today. And I'm going to talk to RHA about it and probably do it next week for your information.
Discussion on the agenda. Senator Fryer?
I was just say the same thing. I do feel prepared, but it's preparation, so it'll be interesting.
Other discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, it will be adopted without objection. To the minutes, those are still being worked on, and we will get those, and we'll do a lot next week. So we'll move to public comment. Any members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Hearing none, we'll move to reports from officers. I think President Fernandez is on her way, so she may speak a little bit, but I'll start. I guess I don't really have anything. Remember signing for office hours? Some people haven't been doing that, and so that's been marking against you. And we have 4 weeks left now, which is crazy. But don't have to make me suspend you in like the last week. In terms of fall break, which is in 2 weeks, I was thinking of not having a meeting, but I'll pose that to the body. What is everyone's thoughts on meeting fall break weekend, which is the 12th, 13th, 14th? Yes.
I have a sinking suspicion that if we can get this many people to show up now, we will not need quorum, even if we do choose to meet. So I'm not sure it's worth attempting a meeting unless we have something of great importance.
Okay. All right. Is there any dissenting opinions on that? Okay. We probably won't meet that weekend then, but I'll let you know in case something does come up and we have to. In terms of what are some other updates? Elections, I believe elections info sessions are actually starting this week. They should end by the end of the week, maybe Saturday. I don't know the exact timeline. And so when that happens, then obviously people can start campaigning and running again. And then that's when we'll fully launch the referendum campaign, because that's when we can actually campaign for the referendum. Val and I are working on judicial board applications. The application is live on the website. So if you have anyone that's interested, direct them there. They can either apply for the chair position or just an associate member. I think the J board is completely empty actually now. Yeah. So we're working as diligently as possible to get that filled, especially with elections coming up. And obviously, like, people who have been in student government but aren't in student government are like obviously have more insight on like the bylaws and the governing documents, but obviously the judicial board is open to anyone. So anyone that's interested in getting involved are free to apply. And that's J board. I think that's it. So we're also considering some like Canvas at Large applications. So we're working on that just to see if we can get a few more senators in for the last month, just to keep more people getting involved as possible. I think that's it for my updates, actually. Let me know if y'all need anything, because obviously we're in a lull right now. So I encourage you to still do things, and if you need help, come to me, let me know. I can put you in contact with certain people in the university, and we can talk about your advocacy ideas and your policy ideas for the next month. And yeah, I think that's it. Any questions for me? Yeah.
Did you folks, did someone post flyers for the referendum yet? Or is that not allowed?
So we're not doing flyers necessarily, just because that tends to be expensive, and we can't actually campaign vote yes for the referendum until the info sessions end or when the campaigning cycle starts. So we'll consider that at the time, but right now we're just sort of spreading awareness and information about it. Yeah.
Fun fact to abuse in terms of cost of posters. Until they figure out why this is happening, color printing is the same cost as black and white printing.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Which is nice. Yeah. So other questions for me? Yes.
So the referendum awareness platform that you folks have, it's completely digital social media.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Val.
Okay. I was just making sure. Yeah, so I did print out business cards too. So feel free to take some and give to people. And I showed them earlier, but they're pretty simple, and they have all the contact information on the back, plus the QR code to the website where all the information is, so people can easily scan that with their phone and then access the information. And we'll continuously update everything as possible. On that note, and we'll talk more about the referendum a little bit after the meeting, just because we have time to do it. But there's misinformation going around still, so be sure to when you're talking to people, tell them exactly what's going on, that it's simply a vote on whether to raise the fee or not. It's only $23 to raise for the year, and tell them that it's not just going to student government, even though it's a student government ballot. It goes to clubs, it goes to student media, and really where our money is going in student government is a lot of the programming. So definitely focus on that, because a lot of people I've seen are concerned with where student government are going to put this money. Well, most of our money, as you know, goes to programming. So tell them about KPU and Student Union Board, Women's Initiative, Founders, and Community Service Coalition. Those are all the places that use most of our money. So yeah. Questions on that? Yes.
And I spoke with Senator Robbins a few weeks ago about the referendum, and if the referendum passes, the trustees can still keep the student activities fee the same.
Correct. Yeah.
So the referendum is non-binding by this.
Yeah, non-binding by the vote, but it serves as a good recommendation for the board. Cool. All right. Val, do you want to give any updates? Or are you good?
Let's see. Okay, we had the voter registration stuff going on. Registered / got over 1,000 students to apply for their mail-in ballot. For states that required ID, we gave them 2 copies, one for them to submit with their application, and another one just in case they needed it again once they submit their mail-in ballot. Once they receive it. The library and I are thinking about potential ways to continue this, especially once students start getting their actual ballots. The university is also doing some work around citizenship preparation for Aramark workers. And we're trying to see if there's any possibility there for AUSG to get on board, especially with the new community service coalition person coming into the team. Which brings me to my second point. CSC was decided. Her name is Emily Smith. She's a senior. She's a musical theater major. And who's going to be leading CSC. I've already met with community service engagement, so they're on the CSS. And to kind of just talk about potential areas of partnership as well as our own ideas and autonomy over the project. We're thinking about putting in sort of a deputy person, ideally a freshman or sophomore, to help her just because she is a senior and as a senior, I can tell it's very easy to become a senior in all aspects of my life. But more importantly, to make sure that someone really understands if they're interested in carrying the role next year, what was started and not just having it die in the middle of nowhere. President Burwell will be leading a session with students about the strategic planning process. I don't have, the date is confirmed and everything, so I need to share that with you all. I'll probably be sending out an email on behalf for all students to attend. It's not an invite thing, it's just an RSVP thing. And I'll be presenting as well there. And then we have solidified the date for the budget forum, university budget forum for students. We're making RHA a partner in this conversation, and we're still exploring whether GOC, which is Graduate Leadership Council, will want to partner because the dates may not work for them. Basically, the setup that Tia, Maddie, and myself have worked on is to make it pretty intimate. There is a formal presentation, but it's a roundtable discussion to discuss what is the context of a budget year, where are we, what are we thinking for this year, how much will tuition increase by, just having the informational piece and where that money is going, and having space for students to ask questions. Next thing was, I'm not sure if Maddie shared last week, but SOREM will be the student government / undergraduate representative in the university budget committee. This committee is basically tasked with reviewing all things budgets, and they make recommendations to the board finance committee, which then takes it to the full board for a vote. This year is the first year that there's an undergraduate, graduate, and law school representative. So, because it's usually been one student, and it's typically the comptroller. And that's not the case this year, for many reasons. Tonight is one of the family gatherings with CDI and AUSG. It's a study night or whatever. Starts at 6 p.m. CDI office. So if you're free and have homework to do, it's a great way to be engaged with our campus. And I'm sure there's a lot more, but that's all I can think of right now.
Cool. Questions for the president? All right, seeing none, we will move on to reports from committees. There are no reports from committees, so we'll move to new business. Is there any new business on the floor or from the floor? Seeing none, we'll move to old business. Seeing that there's no old business, we'll move to public comments. Any member of the public wishing to speak at this time? Hearing no public comment, we'll move to good of the order. Any executives for the good of the order? Seeing none, we'll move to senators for the good of the order. Senators. Senator Robbins.
Yeah, I just wanted to say first of all, I appreciated the action, some of the discussion that we had on the Facebook page as to what the response would be regarding the events that happened yesterday morning. Obviously, it was a little bit crazy. I live in McDowell, and it was crazy to see, and crazy to have to move all around all day. And I think it was hectic. I think everybody did the best job that they possibly could, but I agree that perhaps we need to discuss better ways. I mean, I don't know how you begin to start to change a system, because a lot of it has to do with the fact that people, they're just so used to there being drills, or they're just so used to the fire alarm being pulled for nonsensical things that when it's an actual fire alarm, nobody does anything. So that's pretty bad. But I would love to work with you, Bobby, on whatever you're going to be working on to work on this, and I think this body can really do some good here if we step up. So that's all.
Senator Legitimity's proxy.
So Senator Legitimacy gave me a statement to read to you all. Fellow senators, I can't be here today because I'm currently at Hall Council training for the Residence Hall Association. I wanted to ensure that Mark, my awesome proxy, was able to share my thoughts on a very important campus matter. As I'm sure all of you are all aware, yesterday a transformer behind Hughes Halls caught fire and filled many residence halls with smoke and fumes. The incident brought up many concerns from residents and students alike, including the need for a reevaluation of the way campus deals with emergencies. As this was an issue with the residence halls, it falls under the umbrella of housing residence life. Members of the Senate have expressed a desire to advocate for change within HRL, and I wanted to make sure that I encouraged everyone to connect with and reach out to me and the other members of the RHA. RHA has longstanding institutional connections that senators can and should utilize in order to allow all of us to reach our common goals. This is one of many situations where collaboration will absolutely yield to more fruitful results than remaining soiled within our own respective organizations. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal, which is to improve the lives of AU students. Please reach out to me if you are interested in doing any HRL related advocacy. I would love to work with any of you to improve the residential experience at AU.
Awesome. Senator DeGose.
Sort of speaking on my comment, I'm gonna say something that's probably a little bit unpopular in this room, but I'm not sure what more AU could have done in that situation. Like after the ridiculousness of the alert system from a couple months back, they have vastly improved, I believe, to the point where I was getting spammed with emails and text messages and information from 5 different sources saying exactly what was happening. They were quick to get power shut off to the other room so no more transformers blew. They were quick to see, oh, people aren't evacuating on their own order. Let's send in a team of RAs to make sure that everyone is actually getting out and knows this is real. And I think that they actually responded fairly quickly. I was saying before Senate that they were even bureaucratically on top of things, which is always a surprise to me. In that within 6 hours of the transformer blowing, they had 4 generator trucks from Pennsylvania in here to make sure that as soon as the all clear was given, they could get power restored to the halls. I think that they've actually done a pretty good job. I actually believe that more of the issue is a social one and that people aren't trusting the idea of the fire alarms anymore, and especially that a lot of people still are not putting their phone number into the Rave app that the school uses to get out all these alerts. So they literally do not have phone numbers to text people to, which is why they've now started sending out emails as well, which I appreciate for people. But that until the student body is more aware of the ways that they can actually get their information to public safety, that they're doing literally everything they can, that I actually think they've improved vastly the last couple of months.
Senator Zitzman.
Yeah, I'll say, as the only person so far who's put up a specific idea to pursue, that I agree with Jacob that the problem isn't something that the university could have done better, moving students around during the fire. Obviously, that's unpleasant and confusing, but it's not really an area for improvement. But I think the biggest problem with fire safety is that people ignore fire alarms, because up until yesterday, in my experience, every single one was false. So we need to, I think the university needs to reduce those, and I think they definitely have the capability to do that. And I'm meeting with RHA this week to work on that.
Yeah, Senator Adams proxy.
First off, I'd like to thank, the university, AUPD, and the DC Fire Department for quick and responsive behavior in regards to the fire yesterday. And speaking to Senator DeGose about the Rave app and how can the university, text students these alerts. I actually received the alerts since, the RHA does require in its housing agreement that students put a contact number in case of an emergency. And I did receive messages, through text and email regarding the fire. So I think the RHA does a great job of, requiring students to input their phone number so they know that this is not a drill. And that the university also gives a thorough response through social media and through email and text message regarding this matter. So I think that the response to the fire yesterday on, by the university was great. And I just like to I'd just like to find out, what caused the fire, how can it be prevented in the future, as with all.
Other Senator Friedman.
Just a question, if anyone knows, who was like the highest ranking member of the administration? Does anyone
Like,
like?
on campus? I'm fairly certain that Virgil was actually on campus.
She was on campus yesterday. Yeah.
working with the incident.
Other senators, Senator
So
Robbins.
just also ask if anybody knows, I think they've been great with communicating, what services will be affected and things like that. I have not heard anything, though. I know that the hope is that they'll have a new transformer by the end of the week, but if they're on generator power, I guess, does anybody know if there's any outages to be expected or things like that?
So what we were told, at least the HR workers, is that they do not expect power outages, but as a matter of policy, they can guarantee that there will be none. If there are massive generators, though, I can't imagine that there would be too many failings for very long, and if one did suddenly go down, I guarantee it would be looked at immediately. So I can't imagine it's like maybe an occasional 30-second blackout that it would go too far wrong.
Also, said the rumor on the street is that supposedly a little furry creature might have found its way into the transformer and, caused some ruckus in there. Sounds kind of quite painful. That's the rumor on the street. Don't know, it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
Yikes, ouch.
Other senators for the good of the order. Senator Legitimity's proxy.
Yeah, so I just want to give a little bit more information in terms of like the university's response to this incident. I'm an RA on Southside, and all Southside was pulled to evacuate buildings, but fire alarms were not pulled. So I'd say about a quarter to a third of the residential population on Southside actually evacuated. So that's another concern for you guys.
Sorry. Don't know what that was.
Cool. Other senators for the good of the order. Senator Friedman.
Unrelated, I also attended the registering to vote, the voting drive, what was it, Tuesday? And I just want to say it was a lot of fun, and I'd be interested in helping with anything else. Because it is a very difficult process, people honestly don't know how things work, and even helping people, it's difficult to figure out, because every state is very different, but they have to go through. I can just imagine, it's great, we got like a lot of people registered to vote, got a lot of applications sent out, but I can imagine it's gonna be very difficult for a lot of students to figure out how they're supposed to answer their ballots and actually vote, and then send them back and all the logistics with that. So if there is anything else that the library plans on doing, I'd be happy to help.
Other senators for the good of the order. Yes, Senator Roberts.
This might exist and I might just not be aware of it, but is there any campus-wide American University, on Snapchat? I'm not talking about a large group, but I'm talking about if you swipe to the right of your Snapchat, on the Discover page, kind of like the bigger schools like University of Maryland or things like that. Because obviously we all got a lot of text messages from the fire, but as somebody mentioned, not all of the students that go to the school have their phones are not registered in the system, so they might not be getting the texts. So I was seeing a lot of the fire on my friends' Snapchat stories, but only because I was friends with some of the people that were involved in it. So I'm thinking if we don't already have a page, maybe we could create one so that the people who were involved could be taking pictures of their room saying, oh my goodness, guys, it's really smoking here. This is not a drill. Because as much as we pull the fire alarms and text people, some people are really stubborn and they're just not going to leave their rooms, and they need, visual evidence. So maybe, I don't know if we have to pay for those or if there's any room in the budget to create one of those, but it's just a suggestion or an idea to make it more serious.
Yes.
I'd just like to respond to Senator Roberts about the whole social media issue with how the university relays its messages about emergencies on campus. So if a lot of students on campus do have Twitter, and if they were following the American University Twitter, page, then they would have received all the AU alerts. There's also an AU alert specific Twitter page that relays messages about, campus emergencies. And I think, in regards to a Snapchat specific, page for the university, I think that, that wouldn't be necessary for us as a Senate to create a budget for it, just because, I mean, like you said, your friend, got the word out to her friends, which got out to you, and you probably told your friends about the fire, so it's all word of mouth. And I think specifically for the directly affected halls, or maybe even, the other halls like Clark, Grover, Anderson, Centennial, like RAs, RAs could go up with megaphones and, ensure that everyone is evacuated. This is not a joke, because I know afterwards that the RAs had megaphones out, and I'm not sure if they went up floor by floor telling residents to evacuate or not, but I think that's a very effective way for, actual people to go up rather than just post it on social.
Yeah, you're right. There is one.
Like a story, like a story, right? So it's not like actually something that.
Like something you go on.
Other senators for the good of the order. All right. So I don't have anything for the good of the order, but I do recommend that people stay for at least another 10 or 15 minutes after the conclusion of our meeting so that we can talk about referendum stuff, because it's only 1:35, so you have some time in your day. Give some of it back, but now since we have the time, we might as well discuss things, because this October is going to be really, really busy. So if there's anything else, if there's nothing else for this meeting, we are adjourned